Give me just a second. Okay. No, I'm sorry, Julie, can you call the meeting to order?
I'm calling the meeting to order.
Okay, so we're beginning at 6:30 and I have Chair Crane,
Here.
Vice Chair Wheeler,
Here.
Commissioner Carter,
Here.
Commissioner Dixit,
Present.
Commissioner Bedard,
Here.
and Commissioner G.
Here.
Okay, we are all present.
Thank you so much. And can we begin with our Pledge of Allegiance?
Can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. So at this time, I'd like to ask if there are any public comments for items that are not on the agenda. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the items for consideration. Our first item for consideration is the minutes, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 3rd. So everybody had a chance to review those?
Yep.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I move to approve the minutes of November 3rd as written.
I second.
Thank you so much. Can we have a roll call?
Chair Crane,
Yes.
Vice Chair Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Dixit,
Yes.
Commissioner Bedard,
Aye.
and Commissioner G.
Yes.
Okay, that passed unanimously.
Thank you. So the next item up for consideration is our work plan update. And do we have our work plan to present? If not, or we just want to talk about the update? I'm sorry, Nelvin, I don't know where we stand with this, or Pierre.
I thought we had finished and we'd be presenting it today, to be honest with you, for review. But I believe, I'll just state it. I think we reviewed it amongst us and it needs to be redistributed to everybody for approval. That's
Okay, and so it wasn't attached on the agenda, so I doubt that we can talk about it right now. Is that correct, Mary Jo, Casey?
Well, you can talk about it, but I didn't get an attachment to include in the packet.
Okay,
So you know, I'm sure everybody wants to look at it before you take any action on it.
absolutely. So we'll go ahead and we'll make sure that that's attached for our January meeting. And I apologize, I'll take responsibility for that. But yes, we did meet as we did meet as a group. We tried to meet as a group. I think that there were some issues with poor Pierre coming down with COVID. So yes, we do have a document, and so we'll attach that, and so we'll be able to present that in January.
We'll put it for the January meeting.
Do we have any updates as to when the meeting might be rescheduled?
I haven't heard anything about when the meeting with council will be rescheduled. I don't think we will hear anything until at least January.
All right.
I see
Thank
Sally
you.
has her hand
Yeah,
up.
Sally has her hand up.
As usual, Mary Jo has said it first and probably better. So I wouldn't expect it to be imminent. So yeah, definitely not until January. It might be a little longer depending on when we regroup. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll make sure that the plan is attached for the next meeting, and we'll just discuss it then. Subcommittees. We wanted to discuss current subcommittees and subcommittee assignments. I open it up to the floor. Does anybody want to say anything? Do they have any thoughts on subcommittees?
I'll say something. Last year, I dropped off of the future subcommittee due to some personal circumstances. I'm now available. Those circumstances have changed, and I'm happy to be either on futures or services, but most likely not awareness, which is not my area of expertise.
Okay.
And unless my team says otherwise, I think I'm still on infrastructure.
Yes.
Yes.
We need you.
We need you.
You're-
No one wants to lose Nelvin off of a subcommittee.
This is true. This is true. So, let me speak for myself if I can. I've enjoyed services and futures. So, I'll put that out there.
Yeah, I know futures is short, but I don't know about services.
I'm sorry, what was that, Melvin?
No, I know that futures is short of personnel, but I'm not aware as to what the status is of services.
I believe services is Pierre, myself, and Shivari,
Okay, so you're fully staffed then.
I believe.
All right, futures it is for me.
Julie, I have to correct you. I asked that I would be only on awareness
Okay,
because I also took on the senior commission. So I'm not on services as far as I know.
I appreciate the correction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Freddie, what are your thoughts?
I'm really happy being on awareness and infrastructure. So I'm good to go as is.
Mhm. Okay, Carol, just going along the lines there.
I'm on awareness and infrastructure, and I like both of those.
Okay. And Pierre?
I'd like to participate in the futures, only because I think there's a lot of synergy between services and futures.
Okay,
So if there's a role in futures, I'd like to do that. The line's often blurred.
I would agree. Okay, so it looks like, I'm trying to keep track here. It looks like we have 3 for awareness, 3 for infrastructure, 3 for futures. And it looks like 2 for services. Yep. I
Who's
think
on,
that-
who's on services now?
So that's Pierre and me, Pierre and
Yeah.
myself. I mean, and ideally, we do have an opening for another candidate or another commissioner.
Right, if we get a new one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if everybody's okay with their current assignments, I mean, I love the fact that people are, find synergy with what they're doing and they're happy with it. And so if that's okay for the time being, what we can do is we can continue with our current assignments.
Julie,
Yes.
did I mishear? Did Freddie say that we have a new commissioner?
No, I said if we get a new commissioner.
Okay.
Yep.
But, and I wanted to ask Mary Jo a question regarding that. Can I do that now? Julie?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask Mary Jo a question.
Yes.
Okay, my question has to do with whether you've had any contact with Deborah regarding response to the ad that we ran asking for people to apply from Los Altos Hills.
I have not heard from her since the ad ran.
Oh. Well.
I will reach out to her tomorrow.
Oh, that would be good.
And
That's a good idea.
see if she had any response.
I hope so. Maybe this isn't the best time of year,
It's hard. So things are largely staying the same. We're having 2 new members on the futures. Yay. Do we need a vote to do that? I don't think so, but I want to ask.
I don't believe so. we'll just put together a new roster and send it out to everybody. It's, pretty much the same with it, except for adding Nelvin back to futures and adding Pierre to futures.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, adding Pierre to futures.
Perfect. All right. Anything else to say about that? I wanted to thank everybody for their participation in these subcommittees. I think that they make this just such a better meeting. And I think we're going to see that with our next item. But anything else that anybody wants to say? No?
Well, I want to say that I'm the newest bee on this library group, and I have had a very nice time. Both Carol and Freddie have been really, really supportive, and Pierre before that. And I didn't get much of a chance to interact with Nelvin, but Julie as well. So I'm very happy I joined, and I'm very happy that you allowed me to be on one committee. And it was overwhelming to start off with, but I think I'm finding my feet now. I hope I can be more helpful.
Oh, it's very kind. Very kind. We're very happy to have you.
Mhm.
Very happy. Okay, moving on, the Woodland Library patio project. So Freddie, do you want to present that?
I would love to. And if Casey or Mary Jo could put the presentation up on the screen, that would be wonderful.
Do you have it handy, Casey?
I can pull it really quickly. I only pulled a picture that Freddie sent. I did not pull the presentation.
Okay, I might be able to.
I've never had any luck doing the share screen on this Zoom meeting for some reason. I don't know why.
Let me.
Oh, well, I know why. It's me.
Give me just a minute and I think I can.
I have it.
Oh, okay.
Hold on just a second.
So,
Okay,
well,
so
oh,
this is what
great.
you'd like, Freddie?
Yes, thank you so very much. This is a project, as you know, we have been looking at Woodland Library and trying to increase its capacity and deal with its sound issues for certainly since I joined this commission in 2019. And I want to thank Monica Waldman, who's the chair of the Public Arts Commission, who came up with this idea when she was over at Woodland Branch looking at where she might put a mural, and decided that, oh my goodness, what Woodland actually really needed was, wouldn't it be great to have a much bigger patio area so that people could read and study, et cetera, out there. So I want to give her the full credit for this idea, which I just thought brilliant. So we worked on this idea, and this is a rendering just because I do think pictures are much more helpful in helping people visualize what could be. And so this is, not by any stretch of the imagination what might actually, if we're very fortunate, be developed at Woodland someday, but this gives you an idea of what it could be. So if we could go to the next slide. So again, we've been looking for a number of ways of trying to deal with the sound issues at Woodland. And this space, if we increase the patio space at Woodland, it would serve all of the patrons of the library. It would also serve as just a place where people could get together in the South Los Altos community. It will provide a lot of space for the St. Simon students who make up a very large portion of the library's patrons after school hours. It will give outdoor space with tables that could be used by tutors, and the tutors who work at the Woodland Library with school children, you know, they have to speak out loud to the children to be able to tutor them, and it creates a lot of noise, but this could be done in this space. It could also be used by study groups, children study groups, and essentially anyone who would like to use the library services, but do it outside in the sunshine and fresh air, and also have access to the library's Wi-Fi. So this project has been has received a lot of good support from Jennifer Weeks, the county librarian, and our city manager, Gabe England. Our vice mayor has been briefed about it, and she's advised that it might not require a vote by the city council for approval. But after I've had more discussions with our city manager, it probably will. And I wanted to just say that interviews of the Woodland Branch patrons and certainly the St. Simon students all were very enthusiastic and had, a lot of support for this project. So could I go to the next slide? So this is the existing patio. It's a small patio at the rear of the building. There's one picnic table, and I believe there's one bench. If you could go to the next slide. This is the area where we're proposing this expanded patio area be located. It's to the south of the existing building. It is generally a wasteland of weeds most of the year. It has just been cleared by the city's crew, so you can, it looks a little better. And could we go to the next slide? This is an aerial view of where the patio is being proposed to be located. You could access it from the existing patio in the back. Sorry. Or from the front, from that side door. Go ahead. Could I have the next slide? So the concept is simply to clear an area. We're proposing, this is an arbitrary figure, but we were proposing about a 900 square foot area of the existing land, land that's out there, and to create a sand patio, not hardscape, but a sand patio with picnic tables and benches. Our city manager advised that the city's maintenance crew would clear the weeds for us, and we can also explore whether or not they could excavate the dirt. There's 5 inches of dirt that needs to be excavated to prepare a bed for the patio materials. Could you go to the next slide? This is kind of the scope of the work. You essentially excavate a little bit, you lay down base rock, you compact that, you lay down sand and you compact that. And then if you want to have shade sails, which I think would be ideal because there is no tree shade available in that entire big space, then you'd have to obviously install the poles and the shade sails. And then just acquire picnic tables and benches. The library said that they would provide a Wi-Fi access point so that you could have Wi-Fi on the patio. Could you go to the next slide? So we looked at different picnic tables. These are very, very similar to the ones at the Veterans Plaza. And they're ADA compliant. They are a wire, I don't want to say mesh, but something similar to mesh on the top. It does make it nice so that water doesn't stand if we have the wonderful day like today where we actually got some rain. And then if you'll go to the next slide. we, we looked at costs for benches, and these are benches that are kind of similar to what's out there. And if you'll go to the next slide. So this is the slide where I thought $8,000 or $8,500 for a shade sail was pretty expensive until Tuesday night's council meeting, where the cost of 2 shade sails, one for the community center and one for a slide at one of the parks, cost $92,000. And so that elicited a call from me to Gabe, and I got some additional information about costing. So could we go to the next slide? So here was my estimate. And I think what I want to say about this estimate is this is what it would cost if I were to create this patio on in my backyard. However, the costs of doing it on a city, on city land will be a different story. So I know that $52,000 is low. Okay, so could we go to the next slide? Okay, again, just the concept so people can see what it could be. So what I'm asking tonight, and what the committee is asking, subcommittee is asking tonight, is for the entire commission to vote on this as a project to submit to the city council, to the city for its consideration. And as far as costs, Gabe suggested that we vote on this, and then if it's approved, that we should meet and discuss this and talk about funding and talk about how this might be funded. And there are a number of possibilities. We're looking at some private funding, and we're looking at potentially park and lieu fees that would perhaps be available for this. Certainly, if we can have some of the library's partners, for example, Lolly, kick in funding for this, it would be very helpful. I think there are some other funding, private funding opportunities to help partially fund this project as well. But the first step is for the commission to vote on this. And then if it's approved, then we'll go forward. So any questions about this patio concept?
I'm going to put it back on the pretty rendering while they ask questions.
Thank you.
I want to make a comment that if you have seen that piece of land adjacent to woodland, just sitting there growing weeds, this is such an improvement, and a practical improvement at that, and also very attractive. I would certainly hope that the commission would approve going ahead with this.
Commissioner Dixit?
Yes, I love the idea. And it would be such a useful thing. I just had one question. Sometimes when you see parks and recreations have spaces like this open, we have some events that happen there. Do you anticipate any events happening? Because this seems to be like a very beautiful extension outdoors to what is a quiet area in the library, where people can come in, they might be able to meet together, read, do some quiet group activities together. And if you anticipate it being booked or used for events, like maybe a Sunday gathering or a coffee social, or I don't know what else there could be. But then that would kind of, it would be nice on one hand, but on the other hand, it would mar the use that we were thinking about this. I don't know if
Well,
it's an appropriate question.
you know, my understanding is that this would be it's city land. It's adjacent to the library, so it is certainly there for the use of library patrons, but it's not limited to that use. And so it could be used by the, you know, just the general public. And how Parks and Recs would manage that is a better question for Parks and Recs. I don't know. I think it would be under the jurisdiction of Parks and Recs, not the library. And so I see them being able to rent it out, so to speak, for an event, if that's something that Parks and Recs wants to do.
Okay.
But no,
Thank you.
but
You
but
did
the
answer
idea,
my question.
yeah, but the idea is that it's not just for the library. It certainly would be there for the library, and probably might be used by the library patrons more often than anything else, but it's certainly for anybody to come and use.
It's a really nice location, and there is nothing else there except going further ahead on that road where there's a park. So
Grant
yeah.
Park is the nearest facility, park facility. Yeah. Here?
So I really like the proposal. And the only thing that would, you know, not do it is if we, and this is way out there, but if we actually expanded or did something different with the physical location at Woodland, either an expansion or some kind of major thing. I would like it to remain under the library's control. I mean, it doesn't need to be turned into another park, in my opinion, again. And is it possible to, the cost I think is fine. Even if it was double, it would still be worth it. It's not an exorbitant cost. And in terms of funding, you know, I saw St. Simon's mentioned at least 5 or 6 times. And not to say that we should get money from St. Simon's and insist on it, but it would be good if the parish had some skin in the game through either fundraising or, you know, something that, and I understand it's, you know, this is public, they're private, but still, they're definitely benefiting from the use. So
That's definitely,
that's
definitely one of the places I would go with my 10 cup.
and I think they'd welcome it.
I think
But
they would, you know, I think it's one of those things where if you go and you pitch the concept and you give them the benefits and you just ask them, you know, tell them that we're trying to raise funds to do this and just ask for donations. And I would like to speak to Cindy about this, but this, you know, the donations could go to Lolly as a you know, an allocated or specified donation that would go only to this, so that, and that's a way to do it, to get, I have absolutely thought about St. Simon's and would organize a fundraising there. Yeah.
I would not go to Park and Lou fees, but that's only my opinion again. That's just me. But
you know, I'm relying on the expertise of our city manager, who certainly knows a whole lot more than I do about costs and the requirements for doing things on city land, and, you know, how you do things on city land. And actually Park and Lou funds, Pierre, The good thing about those is that you're not competing, for example, with the police station that needs to be built or other capital improvement projects. But, you know,
No,
the point being is that how this ends up getting financed is out of our jurisdiction and certainly control. So we will present it if it's approved, and we will count on our council liaison and our city manager to shepherd it through.
I
Shivani?
just wanted to add one more. Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing. It looks like a really well organized. You know, you looked into every aspect, and I really liked your presentation. It was so nicely done.
Thank
I
you.
hope it works.
Me too.
Can I ask a question, Freddie?
Yes,
I'm just curious, is that all existing fencing?
there is existing fencing, yes. There's a fence across the very back end of and then there's a fence on the side, the south side, yes, so it's all fenced.
And the fences are in good shape and wouldn't require any work? I'm just thinking about if that's a cost that.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think they are, Mary Jo, but to be perfectly honest, I didn't really go over and take a good look at those fences. And I don't know whose fences they are. I think they are the houses fences that abut this property. But I'm not sure about that either. So,
Okay, so we've asked for clarifying questions. Are there any members of the public who have comments? Freddie, I'm following your outline. So I think we've discussed the item. Any other comments? I think that this is lovely.
I
That's
just
my,
have one, and that is, well, two. First off, the land that's being proposed is, as you can see, is a bit of an eyesore. So this would be a massive improvement. Secondly is that I don't know when it was the last time we've had experience with fundraising, perhaps in naming or what have you, but I can see where, you know, that area right around where she had the flowers and what have you, you could have pavers where perhaps the St. Simon's parents would be willing to spend a little money to have a paver with their kid's name engraved in it, placed along the ways. And that, you know, I'm just thinking that this would be a useful learning experience for other projects that are coming down the road that would require funding.
great
And
idea.
we ought to just, you know, brainstorm a little bit at some point in the future as to what are some of the things we want to explore.
great idea. Oh, yes. Hi, Vice Mayor Meadows.
I know I supposed to let you guys talk, but I like this topic. So if you know, I was gonna tag on to what Nelvin said. If you want to check out, and you probably already have, but Veterans Community Plaza downtown has bricks and tiles that people paid for, and you know, that's how they raise some of the money. So you could look at that as an example. I don't know the details because that part of it happened a while ago. But yeah, there's all sorts of creative ideas.
Thank you. Thank you.
People could buy the picnic benches, right? Have their name on them.
Yes,
Donation.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so is there a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the Woodland Expanded Patio Project as presented.
I'll second it.
Can we call for the vote?
You can. Chair Crane,
Approved.
Vice Chair Wheeler,
Yes,
Commissioner Carter,
Yes,
Commissioner Dixit,
Hardy, yes.
Commissioner Bedard,
yes.
and Commissioner G.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, everyone.
I see some celebration. All right, so now we, sorry, now we're moving into our community partner updates. And so the first is Lolly.
Here I come. Hello, everyone. So starting off with Lolly, I wanted to let you know that we will be meeting on the 15th, a long time away from now. But in our November meeting, I'm happy to report that we have progress on identifying new candidates for the Lolly board, and we will be voting on them at our December meeting. And also we are moving forward with our process improvements, and that is going quite well. We continue to work with Jennifer Weeks and the city on the garden patio at the main library that would open up off of the orchard room. So there's a lot of discussion and review happening with that. And then we are also looking at our strategic direction. We will start that in 2023. And we are really looking forward to hearing from the county what their strategic vision is in detail, so that we can be sure that whatever we're looking at maps to what the vision is for the district and for our library. And also we are a sponsor to the Silicon Valley Reads project, again, for 2023. And we have agreed to host one of the authors, Kai, and right now I'm just blanking on her name. She wrote a historical fiction book, which is apparently quite interesting. I have it on reserve. And that event will be March 15th, and it will be an in-person event. And I want to thank Mary Jo for looking into whether or not the community center was available. And when the dates that our author gave us are Wednesdays, which there's a big jazzercise class that happens. And so it just doesn't work out. And our author wasn't available on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays. But thank you, Mary Jo, for taking a look at that. So we will be hosting it at the Orchard Room. We also think that that'll probably be fine, because usually with authors, we don't get 100+ people. We're more in the 40 to 70 person range. The only concern we have is because we were so successful with Dr. Longo at 180 people, that people might have that spillover effect and come, but we'll deal with it. So those are the highlights for Lolly. I do want to say that we are, I'll say that for NCLA. One of the things that I will be emphasizing again with Lolly is that partnerships are just critical to all of our organizations, and that the more we work together, the stronger the library becomes. And so this is, and I mentioned this to Freddie yesterday, that there's two really good examples of how the Library Commission and Lolly have worked together. So the Library Commission has been creating the monthly ads in partnership with the library, and Lolly has been funding those. It's great. You all came up with the idea, and Lolly had the funds and saw that it was beneficial to everybody. So we said yes to that. And now, of course, I'm blanking on the second example. But,
Open Plus.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Of course, Open Plus. And that's another great example where it was a large dollar amount, but you all had done the research so well and made a case for it. And the library and the county agreed with it, that when it came to Lolly, it was a fairly quick decision for a sizable amount of money. So I encourage you to keep thinking along those lines of, since you all don't have the money, but Lolly is one of the organizations that does, think about the ideas like the Woodland Library and come and present to Lolly. So those are my comments. Any questions about Lolly?
We're grateful for Lolly.
And so our Friends of the Library update.
So we don't have a representative tonight from Friends of the Library, but Elaine did send an update that is in the packet that you can read. she wasn't able to be here.
Thank you. And then NCLA, Cindy.
Oh, hello again. Hi. So with NCLA, we have been working, there's a committee of NCLA people, myself, Angel, John Maginot, Peter from the Los Altos Hills city manager. We are identifying candidates to provide financial and administrative support. So I think we're going to have 2 to interview, and we will make a decision about that. And then the cities have agreed that they will split the cost, the expense of this individual or individuals, and it will be based, the split will be based on parcel allocation. So it won't be a 50-50 split, it'll be a proportion of that. And the really big thing that I wanted to talk to you all about is that I have been writing a document to present to NCLA about alternative ways to spend the extra money that will happen if we keep at our current spend level. So as I mentioned at the last meeting, by 2030, it appears that we're going to have as much as $5 million or more that will go unspent. And NCLA has tasked Suzanne Epstein and me to take a look at what are ways to spend that money. So as I mentioned at the last meeting, do we not spend it and hold it over so when 2030 comes in, we don't have to have a parcel tax and we're able to use that money for the next X number of years? Or do we find other projects that would benefit the library and spend it? Or what are the alternatives? So what I would like to do is to ask you all if you would put me on January's agenda so that I could hear officially from each and all of you, and then I can incorporate that into my report. And those are my highlights for NCLA. We don't have a meeting scheduled until January. We will have a short meeting to vote on the memorandum to keep having virtual meetings, but that'll be a 10-minute meeting.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
And up next is Santa Clara County Library District presentations.
Good evening, commissioners. Bryant, would you like to start?
Certainly, I can do that. Hello, everybody. Good seeing everyone again. Rose is out on vacation, so she's asked me to fill in while she's away. Before I get started, I know you've got a lot of impressive names, Freddie, already listed to those who approve of the Woodland plans, but you can add my not so impressive name to the well. I love it.
Oh, Brian, thank you. I thought your name was on there.
It may have been. I didn't look too closely. I saw all the good names already. Could I get screen sharing privileges so I can share the report?
Let me take a look. You should. I thought you already had it.
So it's supposed to-
No, now
oh,
you should be able to. I'm sorry.
I see it. There it is. We are good to go. Thank you, Casey. Let's see here. Can't see folks, but could I get some verbal confirmation that the presentation is up?
Yep,
and
we're
running?
seeing it, Bryant. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's see here. Let's go to slideshow from beginning. All right. So the Los Altos and Woodland Library Report for December of 2022. Of course, we'll start with the, hang on, sorry, blocking my own view of what I'm supposed to be looking at. Here we go. I should be better at this by now. Self-service soft launch had started at Woodland on the 20th of November. We've put out signage for people to discover, and we talked to folks, who make comments that we think may be interested in the service, but we're really trying to work our way through the process and the kind of the technology side of things. A few interesting problems cropped up that we've managed to fix. So good thing we didn't go too crazy on it on the first few runs. But you can start visiting Woodland during open hours to sign up and access self-service hours. So those hours are marked for Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 8 to 11 a.m. And of course, regular hours will still be normal operations, Monday through Wednesday, 11 to 8, and Thursday through Sunday, 11 to 5. You can see the panel there if you haven't seen it yet. It's a fairly simple mechanism. You scan your card at the bottom. It prompts you for the PIN. You tap in your PIN. the door unlocks for 10 seconds. You can use the ADA, button if that, helps you out, but in you are and you get access to the whole building. At the beginning stages, we do have some staff on hand just to make sure everything goes smoothly. And if there's any problems with the hardware itself, we're still able to let folks in through the door. But so far, it's been smooth sailing from what I understand from staff who have been manning the early hours. On to some numbers. It looks like we're reporting on October. Items checked out at Los Altos Library. We had 42,619. Woodland Branch Library saw 7,465 items go out our doors. Coming back in October, we had 42,343 items at Los Altos, the main branch, and 9,880 at Woodland Branch Library. Patrons served online, 9,526 at Los Altos. And of course, 1,609 Woodland Branch cardholders were served online in the month of October. And finally, in-person visits, we had 8,367 patrons served at Los Altos Library and 1,759 at the Woodland Branch. And if you get the patio open, I'm sure those numbers will start climbing. Some photos from an adult and / teen events that happened in November. We've got Astronomical Society presents World Affairs and Bay Area Games. You can see the rooms are starting to get packed again. People are coming into events at Los Altos Library and the Orchard Room. This is a highlight of the Family Fun Days that we go and visit with the community center. And the Cublets have been a massive hit. I think I've got some numbers to report later on. But I just recall seeing one of our staff member, Tessie. She's fantastic. She was there in outreach. She came back and she had this look in her face, and I asked what happened, and she says there was just so many people. It was fantastic. She hadn't seen anything like that in the past couple of years, and she got really fired up seeing all the kids and family there with us again. So this is the this is the list of events that are happening for adults and teens in the month of December. I won't bore you by reading through all of it, but I can tell you some of the ones that I am looking forward to myself. December 7th, World Affairs, No Miracles Needed, Low Cost Climate Change Solutions. It's a topic that's on everyone's mind. So that's an interesting one that I hope we'll have a good turnout for, which they usually do. And of course, for anybody who's looking to make their own wreath, I don't think it's too late to sign up yet. December 9th at 1 o'clock, we have a DIY wreath making workshop, all materials provided, and a very, very interesting author talk on the 10th. That's leaning more towards the teen crowd. So hopefully we'll get some teens in through the door, along with some of the younger adults as well, of course. Over on the kids side, homework help is still happening Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 5. We've got baby sign time with Miss Stephanie on the 3rd of December at 10:30. We've got the, I'm going to say this totally wrong, for T.O. Marionettes, the North Pole Reviews. They'll be dropping by. They've always been a very popular program with the kids. And of course, we've got the book clubs and game groups are coming back. And I believe Heidi's very excited to do the New Year's Eve party, which will happen on the 31st at 11. Indoor story times are still happening, very popular Tuesdays at 10:30 and 11 o'clock at Los Altos Library. We do use a number ticket system to keep the numbers a little bit under control, and for folks who kind of bump up right against the 10:30 time when rooms are getting filled, we kind of show them what's available to do in the children's room and hang out until the 11 o'clock session is ready for them to come in. Bilingual Spanish story time still going strong on Fridays at 10:30. A big shout out to Janice Garcia. She's an extra help librarian who has really stepped up and helped us fill this story time that has turned out to be quite popular. And at Woodland on Sunday, the 11th, we do have Joyful Story Time at 11:30. Pat Oe will be the one running that event. Outreach events that are planned for the month of December, a little bit shorter than usual. We are short-staffed and with vacations and all things going, but we will be visiting the Los Altos Chinese School and, of course, the monthly Family Fun Days, which we are all looking forward to. So these are some of the highlights from November. We had 90 attendees at the Santa Rita class outreach visit, 211 attendees at the Family Fun Day in partnership with the Friends of the Friends at the Los Altos Community Center. Thank you for having us there. 92 attendees came in for the drop-in craft on the 20th, 120 on the 21st, and 117 on the 22nd. So it was a very, very popular craft event. On the adult side, we had 52 attendees to the World Affair events on the 2nd and 33 attendees to the Astronomical Society presents on the 17th. So again, those numbers are definitely starting to climb back up towards what we were used to seeing prior to the pandemic. Finally, Rose wanted to wrap up with a poem that I think a patron left her. And I'll try to do it justice by reading it out here with a little bit of enthusiasm that I'm sure the patron had when writing. Red, yellow, orange, several shades of green. Cool breeze it out in the orchard. Look out the window. It seems like nothing is in between. Calm movements, everything at my fingertips. I can click and have it. If I don't find it, I ask. If they don't know how they'll find out, I can borrow anything for free. Silence, warmth, comfortable chairs, lots of thinking in the air. If I'm tired, I can even nap. It's another home. I can come anytime I want. It's good to be a patron of the Los Altos Library. November 12th, 2022, Nelly Kempla. So a wonderful ode to the library, and I will be sure to share that with all our staff members as well. I think that's it for the presentation. Let me stop sharing my screen and let me know if you guys have any questions for me that I can try to answer.
I have a question for you,
Yes.
Brian. What is the Whodunit Club, and is this a library-sponsored activity?
Yes, the Whodunit is a mystery book group. You know, it's one of the ones that isn't specifically run by the library. We run it in partnership with this group who comes in and kind of lets us know what titles they've selected, and then we create the list and kind of help them promote it. And then it's just a drop-in event, and they run it themselves. But it is a monthly event. We've got a number of book groups floating around that way.
But that's not a group where you keep track of the numbers who attend.
We do keep tracks. It is not one of it's on our calendar and we do report it, but it's not one of the kind of doorbuster ones. So we don't usually highlight, groups like that. But I am of the opinion it's not about always the quantity of people who show up, it's the quality of what they went through at the library. And sometimes I jokingly tell people, yeah, 2 people showed up, but it changed their lives. So I think it's worth more than 200 in that case.
Okay.
I have a question, Brian.
Yes.
What
Ready.
what is the perfect thing on
Yes,
this-
that's Joan
cats?
Sparks. Yeah, it's going to be Joan Sparks. She's a wildlife photographer, and she's going to be talking about big cats. So if you're into
Oh.
lions and kind of, I almost said hyenas, not hyenas, lions, tigers, and kind of the big cats.
Oh, she's into
gonna
big cats.
Yeah, she's going to be coming in actually just this week. She was in, she did a program for us, Warlords of the Air. She was talking about raptors. So birds, birds of prey. So that was a very, very interesting program.
Is it mostly photography or photography and stories or what?
It's very interesting. She does like a mix. I mean, her focus is of course photography, but she talks a lot about the history. She even has music. Like she really gets into the flow of it. And if you ever get the chance to come, I definitely recommend it. It's an experience in itself. It's very different from other kind of photography programs I'm used to. I actually remember her from my time at Sunnyvale. So when I saw her name pop up, I'm like, oh yes, definitely. I need to invite her again. She's going to be great.
Oh, super. Thank you.
Anyone else? I will pass the baton.
No, Brian, I wasn't here in November, so I couldn't thank you for all the help you gave for the Diwali project. Thank you.
Oh, no. Thank you so much for.
If you hadn't reached out, I was under the impression that we were not going to do it this year, but you reached out and made it happen. Thank you so much.
Oh, I always repeat what's popular and kind of what people ask for. So we'll be knocking on your door again next year, I'm sure.
Sure.
Chair Crane, I just want to apologize. I wanted Bryant to go first because I wanted him to talk about Open Plus because it was also in mind, but I wanted to hear directly from you because your community is so deeply impacted by that innovative model. So thank you, Bryant, for that update. And we're really looking forward to Woodland being this pilot location, really, and to echo what you all were saying, the partnership and collaboration between the good work that you do, your funding bodies there in Los Altos and the district and the library really benefits everyone in broad scope. So thank you very much for that. Just a quick update. I know last month I was sharing about Dolores Huerta's Revolution in the Fields Smithsonian exhibit, which is still on display at the Gilroy Library until January 2023. 600 people came to the event on November 12th. It was absolutely inspiring in so many ways. As that wonderful 92-year-old entered the room, 500 people stood to their feet in applause. So it really was wonderful that we can again bring these impactful programs into our communities. Additionally, Milpitas has a new exhibit up in their their lobby as you go through that library. We Are Not Strangers, African American Histories in Rural California. So it's stories of Black families who've actually migrated to California from the south of the United States. So I encourage you over the holidays, if you're looking for a place to go, Milpitas and Gilroy are offering both of those through January. The Winter Reading Challenge has begun, that you can do online with your family through our website or on the app. So we encourage you to do that, and also an opportunity to get started on those Silicon Valley Reads titles. So just as a reminder, there are a few to choose from. They're There by Tommy Orange, The Second Life of Meryl West by Amanda Skinadore, and What the Fireflies Knew by Kai Harris, who's our local author. So please read 1, read 3, and we look forward to seeing you in January 26th at the De Anza opening event. One more date for your calendars is February 4th, 2023. I can't believe we're saying 2023, but and the annual forum will be held that Saturday in person. Again, the focus will be on the new strategic plan. Pierre, I'm saving you a seat. So we're looking forward to getting everyone back in person, and you will be getting more information on that event in your inboxes soon. Happy to take any questions.
What day did you say?
February 4th, Saturday, February 4th.
Thank you.
My hand's up, but
Hi, can I call on Pierre's hand? Yes, Pierre.
Yes.
not a question, but that event is a must attend. That's all. That's all I have to say. Got to be there. It's fun.
Thank you very much. Yes, and we're even going to do lunch. I think we're all moving toward a new normal, so we're looking forward to it. Again, thank you for your support, and I wish you all wonderful holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that time of year. City staff update. Thank you, Jennifer. Sorry, I should say thank you so much, both of you, for such a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. City staff.
Yeah, okay. I just have a few things to highlight. If you didn't know, today we had a birthday party for the city of Los Altos at the community center. It's the 70th birthday of the city of Los Altos. And it was an event that was put together a little bit at the last minute, but we had, I'd say, probably between 90 and 100 people there. It was, yeah, very, very successful. Some great speakers, a lot of historical photos around of the city. And I think all in all, it went very well. Vice Mayor Meadows was there as well. So that was today. We are in recreation and parks. We are gearing up for our winter season. Our registration starts on December 7th. And we're looking forward to another season of classes and camps for the community. We have a few events coming up. On the 10th is our December Family Fun Day. And you've been hearing about this from the library. And I have to say, the library, the cubelets that they bring have been so incredibly popular. They asked us if in December they could be in a bigger room because they've really had to control the number of people because they're in one half of our senior center space and you can really only fit about 36 people in there. But as you saw from their numbers, they had 211 come. And it seems like they're all there at the same time. It's been hugely popular, and we've really appreciated having the library partner with us and be there for these events, and also the Friends of the Library for their financial support of these events. They've been very successful. We had over 500 people come to the November Family Fun Day. We were sort of, October was big, and we thought maybe November would be a little bit lower because it was, I guess, kind of close to, well, it was right around the holiday. So we thought maybe it wouldn't be so bad. It was still hugely popular. So the December one is on the 10th, and the theme is Winter Wonderland. And we'll be having a bunch of crafts and activities for families. We're also kicking off our gingerbread house exhibit, and people will be able to drop off their gingerbread houses. And this is an annual event that has been going on for a long time. We get calls about it way in advance. If people don't see it advertised, they're like, aren't we doing the gingerbread? So we're happy to be doing that again. We're also on that day going to have gingerbread kits available for families to purchase if they want to create a gingerbread house or landscape for display. So we're looking forward to that. We also on the 15th have our adult 50+ holiday luncheon happening at the community center. And we are looking forward to, after a 2-year hiatus, having the annual fun run again. It's going to be January 7th. In the past, it's been on the 1st. And we're moving it to the 7th for a variety of reasons, that it will be a little less complicated for us to do it not on the actual holiday. And so we have, I think signups are available now. Oh, actually, there's no registration. Everybody can just show up, and usually a lot of people do. So that will be on January 7th. We also, I wanted to mention, I just thought of it, at the community center, we do have a new show up in our community art gallery, which is that wall that's along where the restrooms are. And the Public Arts Commission curates a new show there every 5 or 6 months. And the new show is called Every Child is an Artist, and it's all art from kindergarten to 6th grade. And so that's now up and available to take a look at as you come through the community center. And the last thing I just wanted as a city update, which most of you know, in the December meeting is the council reorganization. So the next time we come together, we will have a new council, new mayor, to support us. That's all. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I just need to make an observation. I need to leave. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Is that okay?
Yes, I think that is okay. Yeah.
Okay, something just came up and I couldn't say no. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any questions for Mary Jo? I assume within the new.
Pierre has his hand raised.
Oh, okay. I'm having a hard time seeing those. Go ahead.
I'm being as annoying as usual, but more civil.
That's okay. I call on Pierre. Commissioner Vidal.
Thank you. I saw there was a great mailer sent out by the Parks and Recs department, by the way. So it came to my mailbox. It was great. Can we add library content? That's my only question. You don't need to say yes or no, but it'd be cool if possible.
We definitely can look into it. We used to have library content when we sent out our guides, our recreation guides that were like multi-pages. But since COVID, we haven't been producing those guides. And so our mailers have been postcards, except for the last 2, which have been sort of what you may have gotten, which is a 2-page. So I didn't
No,
think
actually, I was talking about email. It was an
oh,
email campaign.
email.
It was very nice. I'll dig it up and see.
Okay, so our constant contact email.
Yes, that's
We are limited to the number of things that we can put in there, but I'd be happy to partner with the library to help promote.
My comment is just to compliment it. And,
Okay.
you know, if we can add more content, great. If we can't, that's fine too.
I will let Katie Brecker know who puts that together.
Any other questions? If not, we can move to the subcommittee reports. Awareness.
This month for our December Lolly ad in the town crier, we are highlighting Creative Bug. Because Rose thought it would be a great resource to promote because you can make your own decor, you can make gifts. And so it just seemed unnatural. And then January, we're doing Discover and Go. In February, we are going to highlight the Open Plus self-service at Woodland. And then in March, we're going to
Brian likes that. Bryant likes that. You can see his little emoji.
okay, good. And then in March, we're highlighting some resources to help navigate the looming financial crisis. Business, Morningstar, Standard & Poor, and Value Line. And then the other thing that we are in the process of doing is we will prepare a formalized request to Lolly to fund the 2023 ads in the town crier highlighting library resources. And that's it. Carol, do you have any more?
No, I think that's what we did, right?
I have one. I just, Casey, could you show the ad? We
I
worked on an ad that we talked about in the November meeting
Oh,
to,
yes. This is the ad that I was asking Mary Jo if she had heard from Deborah about whether there was any response to this.
exactly. So we composed this ad. Mary Jo sent it to Los Altos Hills for their okay and for their contact person's info. And so then Bruce Barton was kind enough to put it in the newspaper in the November 16th edition. I think, and this would be something we could ask Deborah at Los Altos Hills or Mary Jo, whoever's the right person to contact if she's not. We could ask Bruce to run this again. I know he would.
I
And
think it's a good idea to run it again. If this time of year, I think people are perhaps preoccupied, but after the first of the year would be a good time.
that's what I was thinking, maybe after the holidays. So if I could ask you, Mary Jo, if you would speak to the right person and find out if they haven't recruited anybody by then, that, you know, we can certainly just take this same copy, which they've already okayed, and ask Bruce if he would run it again for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll reach out to Deborah tomorrow to see if they've had any response and to ask her if it's okay with her if we run it again.
Okay, super. That's all for the awareness.
I was going to ask a question. Do we think that the Los Altos Hills can put it on in their agenda? Just as an informational item?
They were supposed to do an ad in the town crier, and I haven't seen one.
Or even on their
They were
agenda
going-
for the town council? I don't know.
I can ask Deborah.
Yeah. Be great. Thank you. Infrastructure.
And Pierre's hand is up again.
Oh, Pierre.
Sorry.
I've got two screens. I need to move you to the inner screen here.
Yeah.
In the past, I've gone to the Los Altos Hills Council meeting and just, you know, as the first item before it in terms of public comment and tried to recruit. I also asked Elaine to see about the Friends, if they could suggest somebody or anybody, and it came up, did not come up with anyone. The one person who thought she might be interested in it, but did not. So, but anyway, going to the, doing public comment, showing up as a chair, Chair Crane, and, it sometimes works.
Okay. I'm willing to do that. Thank you. Infrastructure.
Okay, so so you saw our project today. That's what we've been working on. And Carol and Nelvin and I at our meeting decided that we should meet with Rose and Bryant soon to talk about their needs so that we could identify new things to work on. That's Carol. Nelvin, do you have anything else to add?
I don't.
Neither do I. I mean, it seems to me that we have bandwidth for more projects, and hopefully we'll find some ideas from them that we could direct our attention onto.
Exactly. So that's the end of our infrastructure report.
Okay, next is futures. I have 2 new team members, so we'll get together soon to talk, but we've been talking a lot tonight about partnership and collaboration. And I have been talking to a number of people about sort of the future of the library. So one of the things I wanted to propose is that we hold a special meeting, hopefully in January, not the end of January, but the 2nd or 3rd week. And we can put this on for a future agenda item, just talking about it now, where we all come together. It's been 4 years since we've talked, where we've had presentations specifically from Lolly and from the Friends and from NCLA and all of those groups about what it is they do and how they work together and sort of what their thoughts are for the future of the library. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity for us all to come together. I did have a chance to talk to Gabe. He would be there. Obviously, Sally, we would love you. And if you're not our liaison, we would love somebody else or to have that liaison there. But basically coming together and really focusing on the future. And I'm very excited about this. Hopefully we can have it at the community center if we can have one of the bigger rooms where I would love for us to come together in person. We can still, have an online option for those people who are still concerned. We can open the doors, make sure that we're all separated, give people the opportunity to talk. Anyway, I was going to propose an agenda for us that we can discuss at the next meeting. Yeah, good stuff. And services?
COVID. No.
We were going to meet and we couldn't meet.
We-
Yeah.
But we ended up not meeting. However, I did participate in self-service. I think I was the first card holder to actually sign up. Unfortunately, I got sick shortly thereafter, Bryant. So I haven't been to Woodland yet. And when I do, rest assured I'll be N35'd. But there were actually, real quick, did you get the email that I sent Rose about my library card being expired?
No, I did not receive any email from you that I saw.
All right, I'll forward that on. They somehow expired my library card, or something happened to me.
I think, were you trying to sign into Libby?
I was trying to I was just trying using the website.
Okay,
and checking out a book.
Because we ran into a very specific problem when we implemented it. We learned that for some reason, making people Open Plus stopped their ability to use the Libby app, and it took a few days for us to iron out those kinks. But right now it should be working. So if it's that issue, if you try again now, it should be fine. But if it is,
I downloaded an ebook right before this, and you're right, it was ebook related, though I wasn't going through Libby. But thank you very much.
try it again. If it doesn't work, let me know. I will.
It works. It works. Thanks for fixing. I appreciate it. It was just sort of odd and ironic.
Well, and I'm scheduled to sign up too for Open Plus, so hopefully I'll be able to do that this weekend and be able to take advantage of it. So very excited. Okay. Anything else? I'm looking, Sally.
Yes, so speaking of Open Plus, and when Bryant was talking about it earlier too, it's very exciting, and I wondered if you thought, I mean, I think it's so innovative, it could go in the city manager's weekly update. The library stuff often doesn't go in there, but really this is breaking, certainly for our community and many others. So I don't know, Mary Jo, if you think you might want to run it by, I don't know, John, Gabe, whoever pulls that together, but it's really pretty exciting.
Yeah, I will.
Yes, and again, I was there when Bryant first suggested it. We asked him what would be exciting and new, and it was Bryant who said, first at Open Plus and then services or futures. One of us ran with it, so very exciting. Yes, sound, oh, claps. Trying to watch my emojis here. Request for future agenda items. So we're going to put again the subcommittees, the work plan.
The work plan.
Yes.
I also have an NCLA update and a discussion of a January special meeting.
Yes.
Are there any that I missed or any that anyone wants to add?
Nothing else? Okay. Then I guess it's my role to officially adjourn the meeting. Everyone, thank
is.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
tonight.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays, everybody.
Yes.
Happy holidays,
Holidays.
definitely.
See everyone. Yeah.
Night.
Thank you.
Bye.
New Year, yes, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.